Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome back to another episode. Another Wednesday already. Are you serious? I mean, this week has just flown by. I don't know. We're in November already. What? That's crazy. Okay, well, welcome back to another episode of Narcissistic. I am your host, Dr. Yaya Marie. Thank you so much for tuning in another Wednesday. Thank you for tuning in and listening to this channel that is also streaming on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Thank you so much, YouTube, for having me. Hi, everyone. Hi, chat. Everyone, can you just make a comment as to where you're listening from? I find that so cool and interesting that people from all over come out and listen here. And without further ado, let me tell you, there are some big updates. So everyone already knows about my book, When Satan Plays Matchmaker, exploring the spiritual side of narcissism. Well, I just released two journals, and one of them is actually a men's journal for men out there who are recovering from being with a narcissist. Because I really do think men are underserved when it comes to this type of abuse. It doesn't, it's not always, physical domestic violence. Some of this, narcissists can get physical, don't get me wrong, but sometimes, people don't really talk about it when it comes to men and how they too can be victims of narcissistic abuse. Isn't that interesting? So I have made a journal workbook for men. It is called Restore Unto Me, a men's journal for narcissistic abuse recovery. And the other journal is also titled Restore Unto Me, a prayer journal for narcissistic abuse. And I will leave those two links in the description box. Now, today, we are going to talk about expediting your healing. Let's all just get over it already, right? We're always thinking about the narcissist. You're talking about the narcissist. You're wondering, what could I do to finally get rid of this narcissist in my life? I've probably already left already. So why am I still thinking about him or her? Why am I still wondering what they're doing? Why am I still missing this person? How do I expedite? How do I catapult my healing to the point where it's like, let's just move on. I'm going to pretend as if they don't exist, and I want to go forward with my life. How do I get to that point? How do I expedite that? Well, that is a wonderful question, and that is the topic that we are covering tonight. So, without further ado, let's all get started. Hi, everyone. Hi, chat. So, number one, I have a problem with the term soulmate. Because, when you're dealing with the soul, I don't know if we should be using the term soulmate. First, you have to understand that man, as in humans, are a tripartite being, meaning we are composed of three components. We have a physical body, we contain a soul, we have a spirit. Okay, we're three in one. So we have a physical body, a soul, and a spirit. Now, once you accept Messiah, we accept Christ, your spirit, man, is automatically saved. Your soul, that is the realm where it is a lifelong process of purification. This is why Paul says, I die daily. This is why you've already accepted Christ and you're filled with the Holy Spirit, right? But you may still have a poor quality of life. There's still a war in your mind. There's a war going on in your soul. Some people, you've already, you pray, you fast and things like that, but you're still getting attacked in your sleep. You're still having, demonic dreams in the soul realm. Why is that? Maybe, you're still getting, your finances are suffering, or you're suffering from sickness and illness, but you are a believer. So, if you're a believer, why are you getting attacked? Why are you not, being the best believer possible? A lot of the times people don't understand is that a lot of the darts and spiritual darts and witchcraft darts or demonic darts that are thrown at you, this is being done in the soul realm, not the spirit realm. Okay. So that's why you can accept Jesus. You can pray, read your Bible, then you go to sleep and you're getting attacked in your sleep in the soul realm. Or you have lack in your life, or anything's not, you don't have a job, or something's wrong with, you're just always one thing after another. It's the attack on the soul realm. So when you're saying you're meeting your soul mate, I would rather say I would like to be connected to my kingdom spouse, because your kingdom spouse is someone who the Most High God designates for you, rather you just feeling a soulless connection to someone. So when your soul is where your mind, your will, and your emotions are. This is why you get attacked. You're through your emotions. The devil will attack you through your soul, which holds your emotions, because Satan controls people through pain. Did everybody catch that? Satan controls people through pain. Through your pain, he has control of you. Now, this is what I mean by that. For example, after you leave the toxic sewer waste dumpster juice relationship, how many of you said, I'll never get married again? Or I'll never trust another woman again? Uh-oh. Or all men are just alike? Uh-oh. See, that's exactly where Satan wants you. It's in a state of not necessarily just, not necessarily bitterness, but I want to say hopelessness. Like there's no hope into, having a future that I aspire to. So how about I just settle for what Satan had given me, which was a toxic demonic relationship. And then when that's served its purpose in my life, then I can go on and say, hey, you know what? All men are the same, or all women are the same, and I trust no one. And I'm going to be like that for the rest of my life, because you ran into one or possibly a few narcissists or many narcissists. You see what I mean? This is how Satan controls you, is through the pain. That pain is that's from this narcissistic abuse. This was a gateway, a hole, and a fragment of your soul, because it hit you at your emotions, right? I did a video before on soul fragmentation. You can check that out, and it's eye-opening. But that narcissist, they give you and they leave you traumatized, really, and it leaves you open. So we want to figure out, how can we get to a place where, I got to change my way of thinking. I have to change my outlook. We live in this world. This world is so demonic, so wicked. And when you are a person that is living right, doing what you're supposed to do, striving for perfection and striving for obedience, you're living in this wicked world, and you're like, oh my gosh, not this again. It may be not even one day goes by that you even meet someone good, so, and it does do something to you. It affects you. But Satan wants to control you. And he does this through your emotion. He does this through your pain. He does this through sending you people in your life to destroy not only your self-esteem, but to tear at your soul. Does everybody understand that? Type of one, if we're on the same page. I'm telling you, this, people think this is just light, just, oh, you were with the narcissist, or, everybody's talking about narcissism. It's trending. This is not just some type of buzzword, or it's because this is hot topics right now. This is not it. Narcissistic abuse is deeper. Is deeper than what people are actually saying. And you know that something has to be deeper, because this is affecting your life and your livelihood, the way that you live your life and the quality of your life. Some of these narcissists have come in your life, and then all of a sudden, we talked about someone who, what was it? They signed over a deed to their house. Some people have become homeless. I just heard one where the narcissist actually made a false police report. They had to go to court. The person didn't even show up for court. They lied about the whole thing. But this is really affecting people to the point where someone's got to say something. Someone's got to say something. And saying controls you through your pain. Now, with all that being said, when you realize that NPD is spiritual and you turn to the Most High, that is when your healing is expedited. You have to be at a point where you realize that you are dealing with something bigger than yourself. What you're dealing with is something that is unseen. What you're dealing with is something that will sit on your route to wherever destination you were going. It was sent to either block you, it was sent to delay you, it was sent to either take you off course. This is a big deal. Now, once you realize that you aren't necessarily dealing with a person, but you're actually dealing with a principality. Did everybody get that? You're not dealing with the actual person, you're dealing with the principality. So remember, listen, Paul, he left us with all these wonderful letters. Paul said in Ephesians 6, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So we're dealing with all of that. And, a principality, this is a demonic system or a ruler over a territory. Okay. Think about how in Daniel, Prince of Persia, think of a ruler over a territory. As a matter of fact, have you ever wondered why certain neighborhoods, everyone is getting gunned down? Sometimes on that same block or street. Or maybe there's streets where there's a car accident in the same spot or same area every month. Every month a car accident, same street. Why? Or in some parts of town, there's a high rate of a specific illness. Why is that? And this happens over generations. It doesn't just stop. There's a pattern. A city may be known for gun violence. A city may be known for certain type of illnesses in that one town. That's a principality. That's a territorial spirit that rules over a particular area or city, and sometimes even a nation. Okay. So Paul said we wrestle against these very principalities. Now, this is why in my book and on this podcast, I stress the fact that the relationship was a demonic setup to get you thrown off of your path. If you can see what is in the spirit realm, you will be amazed and so grateful for what God has blocked from harming you. This is spiritual warfare. And this, although, the battle is the Lord's, yes, that is 100% true. But let's also think that, in Jeremiah, God states that we are his battle axe. Well, what does that mean? That means we are the ones that are to fight. We're the ones that are fighting. Okay. He gave us the keys to the kingdom. He gave us authority. Now, it's just so powerful to me, because when we're thinking about expediting your healing, Number one, you got to have, listen, the people like such as myself, and there's other creators out there that are content creators out there that are, well versed in scriptures and things like that, and they've been through narcissistic abuse. Let me tell you, it takes an act of God to get over this type of abuse. You cannot do this alone. Listen, you can put, what is it now that they do, the green juices, the detoxing. You can detox the narcissist out of your life. You go to the gym, you work out, you do all of that, though all of those things. You probably, put your time into some type of volunteer work so you can keep your mind from ruminating. Then when you get home after doing all of that, I mean, you just burnt 1,200,000 million calories at the gym. You ate nothing but lettuce all day. You drank only green juice for a whole week, doing a detox. You done all of that. You come home and something still triggers you to think about the narcissist. You're still not over the narcissist. You still have not said, okay, I'm not going to snoop or go to the new supplies page or anything like that. You've paid for all type of therapy. I'm not knocking therapy. I'm not knocking that. If that is what what you need to do to, be in a position where you can talk to someone, I mean, that's great. But at the same time, there's only so much that you can do as a human. God has to be in control. He has to be in control. And it's not until you surrender and you say, you know what? I had enough. I surrender to you, my Father. I surrender to you, God. I surrender. Does everybody understand that type of one? If you understand, I'm looking at the chat. Yes, it's true. You listen, you have to be in a position where you totally surrender your life, your soul, your will, and say, Father, you have already taken care of this for me. You have done it. You are close to the brokenhearted. You got to get to the point where you give up. You give up and you let him take full control. That is how your healing is expedited, because guess what? He's going to put people in your life where you're learning different things from certain people. You may go to someone's people don't like to really call it church, or you could say the assembly, okay? Or you go to a congregation and you're learning from somebody, or you're visiting these channels. I don't think that Satan and his minions knew what the internet was going to bring forth. Because there are so many like good channels on this subject, and so many people are returning back to God. And you have to think, this is why, listen, in all things give thanks, even the bad. It doesn't say in some things. The scriptures do not say in some things give thanks. In all things, even the bad, give thanks. Think about it. If it wasn't for this narcissist, you wouldn't have returned to God. Where would you be if you had not returned to God? That's a place I do not want to be if there's no connection with our Creator. If you didn't say in your heart, listen, something's not right with this person. I need to read my Bible. I'm going to pick up this Bible after how long? Because, when you're with a narcissist, you don't really have a praying life, or a life where you're doing what you're biblically, your obedience in your heart is telling you to do. You're not really doing that. But then one day when you see, wait a minute, this is wrong. This person is not for me. Or the Most High will allow a situation where you don't have any choice but to leave. Maybe the narcissist is in jail now. Maybe there is no way that there can be any contact. In all things, give thanks, not just some things. I'm telling you, this is the only way that you can get to the place where you need to be is when you say to the Most High God, Father, I need to know what was that situation about? Why was I in that situation? Confirm to me why I was in this situation. And he will send you people. He will send you people to give you this is wisdom, and it's not about age or anything like that. This is about who the Most High will put in your life to learn from, right? Now, listen, we already know that the scriptures say, our righteousness is like filthy rags. But does that mean that we don't strive for it? We're not just going to say, oh yeah, well, I repented the other day, like I tried, but listen, this is something you have to keep at. This is not anything where, you go to God and just say, heal me from this person. Now, don't get me wrong. It could happen in a blink of an eye. It can happen just like that. But when you're going back to God, you're returning back to him. You're finally saying, I give up. I can't do this alone. I need you to heal me. As a matter of fact, by your stripes, I am healed. And now you have to remember, through knowledge are the just delivered. Through this knowledge, through all of the knowledge that you are getting, you're gaining so much knowledge, even from just this podcast. All of this takes into account your deliverance from the narcissist, your deliverance from what the person put you through, and your deliverance from the chipping away at your soul, your emotional deliverance. This is serious because think about it. When you're with a toxic person, especially if you're in this relationship for years and years and years. I mean, even months or weeks is a little too long for me, but if you're in an extended relationship, think about the trauma and the abuse that your soul took. Think about your emotional well-being. But through knowledge shall the just be delivered. Healing is our portion. Deliverance is our portion as children of the Most High. So I wanted to get on here and I wanted to just say that because the only way to get this, to expedite your healing and take your healing to the next level is through the Most High. That's the only way. That's the only way is you return to him and you ask him to cleanse you. You can do all the earthly things. I'm not knocking all of those green juices that you're drinking. I'm not knocking eating 1,000 bananas a day. I'm not doing any of that. Go and do that. But by all means, at the same time, you have to have a relationship with the Most High. You have to let him expose you to this type of knowledge because guess what? Some of this, I'm from the type of thinking where I'm not going to charge people to learn how to pray. I'm not going to charge people, or there's some type of secret knowledge and some sort of, a special type of conference or a conversation with me. This is all freely I was given. Freely I will give it back to the Most High's people, whoever wants to listen. Now, don't get me wrong, my block list is really long because it's some internet gangsters on here, but that all comes with the territory, right? So remember, Paul said we wrestle against these very principalities. Okay, yeah, something just happened with my computer. All right. Sorry for that little pause right there. I don't know what happened. Since we're talking about this, listen, the devil don't want this to get out. But listen, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, and spiritual wickedness in high places, meaning places that we cannot see, places that we cannot even, fathom. This is why, side note here, I don't understand, this whole movement with people taking certain can I say drugs on here? Or certain herbs and things like that to get to a higher, what they call a higher state of consciousness, or they're trying to see in the spirit realm. This is not on the level of the Most High opening someone's eyes. These are people going to retreats, trying to get some type of healing, and they're being opened up to another realm, a realm that we cannot see. Now, what they don't really tell you is there isn't just, false lights or what people think are angels, because those are not just, there's just like there's a kingdom of light, there's also a kingdom of darkness. All of that's in that realm, you're dealing with actual demonic forces. So when you're taking these drugs and things that make you hallucinate, and I forgot the name of it, starts with the A. Type in the chat if you know what I'm talking about, because I keep seeing the push for that. And these are people that are trying to get healed from all type of emotional abuse. So they go to these types of retreats, right? And supposedly they're getting healing from a different realm. But you could see these videos, these people are actually, they're under some type of influence. But what they don't tell you is that when you're coming back from that realm, a lot of these people commit suicide. A lot of them come back and they are even messed up before, even more than they were before when they went to the retreat. They start, suffering from, they start hearing voices all the time after they come from the retreat. Why aren't people talking about this? I don't get it. There's so many of these accounts where they went to these retreats trying to fix their life, trying to get healed. They don't go to God. They're going to a retreat, taking some type of herb. And then when they're back from whatever psychedelic trip or experience that they had in a different realm, they are not the same. Listen, I don't know why. I don't know. People need to talk about this. They really, no, none of that can help you. You have to have the Most High God. You have to. Okay. So I just wanted to get on here and do a short lesson. And I'm preparing for another lesson tomorrow. So just be on the lookout for that. But I wanted to just at least get on here and talk a little bit, because I haven't been really missing too much, but somewhat, not as active in the past few days, getting these journals out and doing some other things that I needed to do. And I just wanted to give everyone, something to listen to. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. And remember, I love you and God loves you the very most. Bye.